I'm Heather Cash, Senior Vice President of the Philanthropic Services team at the Community Foundation of Louisville. I think Give for Good Louisville is really a sense of pride for our whole city because it inspires people to give back and it helps people feel like they're part of something bigger than themselves, even if they don't have that much to give individually. So to know that someone's gift of $10 or $20 is part of an $8 or $9 or even $10 million giving day is incredible. And it just shows that you don't have to give away thousands of dollars to make a difference. So I think Give for Good shows the power of generosity and how we can really make a difference when we come together as a community.
This is Give for Good Louisville Live. Welcome back to Louisville Slugger Field. My name is Chris Strubb, the Giving Day guy. It's 12:30 here in downtown Louisville, Kentucky. Let's take a look at that leaderboard here real quick before we get rolling. $2,305,104 raised. 550 participating nonprofit organizations, of course. 14,543 gifts. 9,099 donors so far. And we're going to watch, we'll check back in with those numbers at the very end of this stream as well to see just how much progress you guys have helped all of these groups make throughout the next 25 minutes or so. But without further ado, I'm going to throw it back over to my pal, the president of the Foundation. There's Ron Gallo. Ron is ready to rock and roll. Good afternoon. Welcome back. Just so many great conversations in that 12 o'clock hour there moments ago. And we're going to let you jump right into our 12:30 broadcast.
Well, good to be back. And that first half hour filled me with a lot of energy. And I hope also those listening got to get to those donations. We've got to get that leaderboard continuing to move and even at a faster rate. But right now, I have Justine Aycock and Stacy Maynard with the Visually Impaired Preschool Services. And I'd love for it to start with just let people know in your own words, what is this?
Yeah, Visually Impaired Preschool Services is an organization that provides early intervention services for children birth to 5 years old that have visual impairments. So if they are 0 to 3, we see them in their homes. We have interventionists that go there to help prepare the families with the strategies and the advocacy skills that they'll need to help their child. And then we also have a preschool here in Louisville for the 3 to 5 year olds if they qualify.
So this is probably a greater need than most people realize. And tell us the range of impairment, if that's the right word, that it's not just those who are totally without sight?
Correct. We serve a variety of ranges. It depends on the child's diagnosis. Some of them are just a neurological condition called cortical visual impairment, in which case their eyes are technically fine, but the signals to their brain doesn't connect in the way that it typically would with our eyes. Or we see children that have low vision and as well as children that are completely blind.
And it's probably so important to their self-esteem and to their other development that they get this intervention really early on.
Correct. It's something that was a real burden to the teacher and the parents that began it in 1985 because there was nothing for early intervention for children with a visual diagnosis. And you know, we can help them not only with things like literacy and math skills, but we help them to find hobbies they enjoy, help them to learn how to speak about their own visual impairments and to say, oh, I can't see that, to talk to their teachers about their needs, and to build skills as far as dressing and eating on their own, so they can be as independent as possible.
You know, it jogs my memory. I have 3 children, and my son, who, well, I guess it was like 4th grade, so he wasn't obviously totally visually impaired, started to misbehave in class. And it was that he couldn't see the chalkboard, and that was the way he dealt with it. And then he was diagnosed eventually with visual problems, got, you know, corrected, and it changed his life.
Yes, and with, you know, the hope is that the sooner we can find these children and identify them, the more progress they can make, the more that we can get the idea in the community that this is a very important thing for us all to be looking for and to be helping with.
Right. This is important. So let's talk about Give for Good and what it means to your organization, how it helps you.
Yeah, so Give for Good really propels our mission forward. I'm newer to VIPS, and I came from the Louisville community, but I really didn't know what VIPS was until they hired me. So I think that we're a hidden gem, and part of Give for Good is the exposure. People don't know about us unless you need our services, and then of course we're here to help, but we love to expand our horizons and let people know about us before you need our services, or so you could refer kiddos or families that you know that might need our services.
So important. So, you know, how many you have on staff? Because I'm leading somewhere here. About. Not the teachers necessarily.
So,
am I looking at the staff?
Well,
No.
VIPS is a unique organization.
Yeah.
So we're headquartered here in Louisville.
Right.
We have, I would say, about 25 to 35 staff members / contractors
Right.
here in Louisville. We do have staff in Indianapolis as well,
I
including contractors and full-time staff members, as well as in our Central Kentucky office, which is located in Lexington. So I don't have the big overall number for you, but we cover both states.
And I was only mentioning it because it's still, there's a lot of contractors and they were providing the direct service, I would
Absolutely.
imagine. But you don't have a large infrastructure to have big fundraisers and things like that. And we learned that Give for Good is a wonderfully efficient way to get exposure, raise money, and in ways that otherwise might not be possible.
Absolutely. I mean, our goal this year is $70,000. We're already 65% of the way there,
Oh
so
my.
we're really excited.
And it's only half past
I
noon.
know. So everyone, just make sure to get your donations in. It's for us. It's less about the dollar amount and more about the amount of donors.
Right.
Right now, I
And
think
new donors sometimes, right?
Absolutely, new donors.
Yeah.
We would love to use this opportunity to introduce people to VIPS and bring you into our VIPS family.
Yeah. No, like when you said a hidden gem, I think that is so on target. It's something that until you need it, maybe you don't know. And I'm sure there's also disparities along economic lines, racial lines, in terms of accessibility, people knowing about what exists in their communities. So you're doing something really, really, really important for kids. We take our abilities for granted. And it's not till they're not there that we realize the challenges that people have, and you're going right at that. So how many kids do you serve a year between the 1 to 3 services and then the preschool?
Absolutely. So I have the number for our overall, 0 to 5. Last fiscal year, we served over 621 kiddos, which is amazing. And that's over both states. And we had almost, 20,000 hours in front of our kids. So we're seeing our kiddos at an increased rate, which means that they're getting the services that they need at the frequency in which they need.
So you're new to Louisville or just to this organization?
New to this organization. I grew up in Louisville and then I moved away for a while, but I'm back.
Which I hear a lot. It's the boomerang.
The boomerang effect,
Yes.
absolutely.
And you, Stacy?
I've lived in Louisville for most of my life. I have been at VIPS for a little over 10 years now.
10 years.
Yes, but prior to that, I also was not aware of it. I knew that I wanted to work with children in a sort of nonprofit situation, but I found out through a family member about VIPS, and I've been so excited to do the work that I do. It's a blessing.
The reason
to work
I was
every
asking
day.
these questions about Louisville is that, you know, that is a part of what this is about, is to celebrate our area, Kentuckiana, Louisville Metro, and the generosity that exists here. I mentioned it in the last half hour that typical take in one of these things is about $4 million for the day, and we double that and searching for more. It's just an awful lot. And I think it's one of the many reasons that people go and come back to our wonderful city. I'm a newcomer and only 3 years in, and I've fallen in love with this place for all the reasons that I just mentioned and more.
Yeah.
And here we are, VIPS, another great institution doing great work, and you need our support today.
Absolutely. And if people can't give, that's okay. We welcome you to come tour our facility once you get in the building.
Where?
It's right off Goldsmith Lane, off Newburgh Road. We are headquartered there. We have our Kidstown preschool, so you can see.
So the preschool is at that site?
Yes. You can see our classrooms, you can see our playground, you can come and visit with our devoted staff that most of them have been there for over a decade. I mean, it's really amazing what we've done here.
Terrific. Well, thank you for spending this time with us.
Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you.
Pleasure to meet you. I love the double meaning, VIPs and then VIPs. I'm sure every kid is treated like a VIP.
I missed that one, Chris.
Right? So thank you guys so much for spending some time here today. We wish you the best of luck during the rest of the remaining 11 and a half hours here. We'll let you get back to work.
Thank you.
All right? And Ron, we will be going to take about a 30-second break.
Okay.
We'll be right back with our next organization, all right?
Okay, looking forward.
Come on.
Hi, it's Ben Davis. I do mornings at 99.7 DJX right here in Louisville. And thank you so much. And congratulations for 10 years of Give for Good Louisville, helping out all of these nonprofits here in Louisville, Kentucky for 10 years. And now we're going to introduce you to some more of these amazing nonprofits as we head back out to Louisville Slugger Field.
Thanks, Ben. We need that Ben Davis energy here in the lunch hour. It is coming up on 1 p.m. here in Louisville. Ron, we'll take one more quick peek here. 14,883 gifts so far. $2,383,040 raised by 9,274 very generous donors so far today, with plenty more fun to come. Oh, look, my friends. We were just talking about the national scope. Let's take a look down the highway here. We've got the St. Louis Community Foundation just left us a comment and said, congratulations on a great day so far and happy 10th anniversary.
Well, isn't that wonderful for our colleague to weigh in on?
That's probably Emily there in St. Louis. So we'll wave
you,
down
Emily.
the highway. What is
St.
it,
Louis.
64 down to St. Louis. They also celebrated their 10 years. It's just a very special day today, Ron. And what makes it so special is that we are really joined by some really great special guests here at Louisville Slugger Field. So I'm going to let you take it away and introduce our next guest here from Jedi.
Yeah, I have Matthew Porter from Jedi, and you're doing incredible work with Black entrepreneurs, providing resources and mentorship. Tell us more about that.
Sure. So Jedi was founded in 2020 by Tawana Bain, local entrepreneur Tawana Bain. And it was really, the disparity was really highlighted during that time. We're looking at bank loans for being approved for white-owned businesses at 75%, where it was 46% for black-owned businesses. So looking at the disparity, she decided she wanted to start a charity in 2020 that really focused on black business development and entrepreneurship. So with that, what JEDI is and what JEDI does is provide those tools, resources, training, mentorship, networking opportunities, etc., for free for our Just Boss Up Academy for entrepreneurship. So we do that, and we also do that through grant making.
You know, I just want to underline what you talked about, the disparity of capital for black business people, for entrepreneurs. I have learned the stunning figure that while here in Louisville, that even though black people make up about 27% of the population, 2% of businesses are
black owned. Yeah.
Yes, and that's something that needs to change.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to do.
And you're the tip of the spear on that.
Yeah.
Because you could have great ideas, but without access to capital, without mentorship, it's hard to get to that next step. So we need to call that out, but also encourage folks that we can be part of that change.
Absolutely, and I think what I've learned meeting a lot of these entrepreneurs that have come through our program is that when you have an organization behind you, when you have a community that believes in you, you can do anything. And I think just watching that transformation is the best part about my job.
I bet it is. Yeah, we have a program called the Vote Awards, and it gives money to entrepreneurs. I'll tell you that it is just amazing being in their presence, young entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
Because as go they, goes our own economy, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. We need to keep them here.
Yes, yes, and we need to build up our communities and make them prosperous everywhere.
Exactly. So, Gift for Good. What does it mean to JEDI?
It means everything to JEDI. I mean, the Community Foundation, which thank you for putting on this day, because you make it so much fun, and you make every nonprofit in the city want to root for one another and not really compete with one another, even though we're competing for prizes, of course. But thank you for doing that. Louisville is a very special place. I'm born and raised Louisvillian. This is my community, and seeing the community come together really is what we are all about. We are all about community, building community. And this community, and especially today, is just, it means so much to us.
Yeah, to all of us. You talked about the word community.
Yeah.
And there's pleasure in it, and there's responsibility in it. And today is a call to action for people who talk fondly about nonprofits and what they do, to turn that into action by giving, learning more about. So that leads me to ask, with some of the people who've come to talk to us today, it's like, come down to this location and watch our program. How does one learn more about JEDI, or witness it, or participate in it beyond supporting it financially?
Well, most of our cohorts are virtual. We don't really have a brick and mortar place where we can have people come to. But we do like to direct people to our website, where they can see videos of past entrepreneurs, learn more about Just Boss Up Academy. We have applications open now for the 3rd cohort through October 1st. And then information on sponsorship, information on the beginnings of JEDI, how we've evolved. Our annual report is there for folks to look at. So our website is a great resource.
And that website is?
Is JEDI, GEDDI.org.
So it doesn't take much imagination to draw the connection between the name and Star Wars, right? So
absolutely.
Just fill that blank in just a little bit more.
Well, when I started, Tawana Bain, when she founded JEDI, she wanted to make sure there was a whole pronunciation campaign involved with this, because we wanted to make sure that it stood out. There was something that stood out in the public. So. This was something that this was her initiative, and she knew that using such a popular, word acronym, but yeah, she knew that would help.
Yeah, and it's also something about I'm not that familiar with the series, but mentorship and
Yep.
and leadership.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely,
and
absolutely. It does tie into the actual Star Wars Jedi.
Exactly. So we don't have a lot of time, and unless it sounds like it's on your website, give our audience one great example of a success story through the services of Jedi.
Sure, absolutely. So every year we do we have micro grants that we give out at the end of the year at our annual meeting. And one success story that stands out to me is Miss Portia Shoulders, who started her own porta potty rental business that is specifically designed for women. So since she's gotten the grant, she's been able to do some networking. She's got contracts through the end of the year. She's working with women in construction. She's really, she's doing such great things. And again, it's because of that belief and that, being able to say, hey, we believe in you.
Yep.
So
exactly right. And again, it goes back to that thing: do a job, build an industry, and you are solving so many other problems in our community.
Yeah.
In terms of everything you can think of. So glad you're with us right now, Matthew, but also the organization itself. You're doing great work.
Thank you.
Well, Matthew. Let me turn my mic up. Matthew, thank you for giving me a homework assignment. I got to go watch the Star Wars trilogy with Ron Gallo here. And of course, today is the 10th annual Give for Good Louisville. If you come back and join us again at Louisville Slugger Field next year, we'll make sure to remind me. I'll create a title card that says Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
See, Ron picked up on that one. There you go. Give me just about 30 seconds here. We're going to get our next guest lined up as we say. Thank you very much, Matthew, for coming down, and wish you the best of luck today during Give for Good Louisville.
Thank you.
You got it, buddy.
Thank you, Matthew.
Our 2023 Give for Good Louisville premier prize partner is Churchill Downs. Our presenting prize partner is the Sam Swope family. Our prize champions are Derby City Gaming and Hotel and William O. Alden Jr. Our prize leaders are Caesars Foundation of Floyd County, LG&E and KU Foundation, and the Owsley Brown II Family Foundation. Our prize advocate is the Shelby County Community Foundation. Our prize supporters are the Geens Foundation, Jewish Heritage Fund, Brown Forman, and Republic Bank. Our training partner is 2020 Strategic Consultants. Our presenting media partner is WHAS 11. Our supporting media partners are Wave 3 News, WLKY, Spectrum Reach, Courier Journal, Al Dia, Today's Woman, Louisville Business First, WLOU 104.7 FM, 102.3 The Rose, 99.7 DJX, B96.5, Alt 105.1, Magic 101.3, Lamar, Outfront, the Louisville Downtown Partnership, Louisville Public Media, and Monday.com. Our Giving Day partners are the Louisville Bats, Louisville Slugger Field, and Park Community.
Hey, what up? It's Ben Davis. I do mornings here at 99.7 DJX, and you are watching the 10th annual Give for Good Louisville live. Now, let's go back to Louisville Slugger Field and introduce you to some more of the amazing nonprofits that we are helping today.
That's right. It's a beautiful day in Louisville, Kentucky, coming up on 1 p.m., coming up on almost $2.5 million raised here, over 15,200 gifts so far, 9,466 donors. And right now, Ron Gallo, our job is to keep those donor numbers cranking as we introduce you to one more great nonprofit here at the conclusion of our 12 o'clock hour. Let's keep things going.
Fully confident that my conversation with Curtis Bile and Trey Hayden is going to do just that. It's going to keep the leaderboard, because you guys are doing amazing work in the community, growing bridges.
Thank you.
It's about mentorship. Tell us about it.
Man, so we do family-focused youth mentorship. So our goal is to work with the youth, but we do a family approach to that. So our goal is not to just be working with the youth, but with their whole family. We want to, become integrated in their lives. We want to be in the home, having dinner with the families. We want to be meeting their needs however is necessary, because our ultimate goal is to divert the course of our mentees' lives for the better. And we think to do that, it really does take a holistic approach of meeting them wherever they're at, in whatever environment they're at. and oftentimes that does mean working with the whole family.
That's a great insight. You know, a lot of mentorship programs, you know, it's like show up Thursday at 4 o'clock, you know, we'll do something with you. But this is about integrating into the family, walking with the family.
Absolutely.
And being there in the everyday details in a way of it, which honors, in a sense, the importance of family, which is a struggle. You know, for a lot of kids, it's not as neat and tidy as you see in the movies, something like that.
100%.
So, how long have you been doing this, and how many kids are you touching, you know, at a typical time?
Growing Bridges, we started in 2020, so about 3 years. I've been with the organization for about 1.5 years in my role. And I think for one of the big things for us, as Curtis mentioned, we're very relational in how we focus on these kids. A big saying that we have is be the person that you wish you had in your life. I know you touched on, you know, the family dynamic is not as always, you know, as pretty as we like to think. But for us, that's been motivation for us, really. It's the people that we maybe didn't have in our lives at a certain time in need, we want to be that for other people. So I think that's really been the drive behind our mission.
And about how many mentees? Yeah.
So we are currently working with, we have contracts where we're doing regular work with 2 other nonprofits in New Albany, Indiana. One of them is Olive Tree, who's been a wonderful partner for us for a couple of years now, as well as the New Albany Housing Authority, who we've been working with for over a year at this point. We're currently serving about, I want to say, 20 to 25 youth across those 2 organizations. And we're working with the families of a good number of those. I don't have the exact number off the top of my head, but yeah, so we're doing a lot of work, and that's with only 1 full-time mentor right now.
Is that right? Wow.
We've been an entirely volunteer-run organization up until about a month ago. We were very blessed by you know, our first full-time member, Chris Nolat, who stepped away from his job and is doing this full-time. He'll never be paid enough for what he does, but he truly is an amazing guy, and he would be here right now, but he's serving our youth. So
as we speak,
he's where he should be.
Absolutely,
exactly.
Absolutely.
You know, I don't mean to seize on a little detail like eating together, but I remember in my own life, which was quite dysfunctional. So this is almost an emotional conversation for me. The importance of mentors and the importance of even little rituals like having dinner together. You know, how many times. I don't want to make this about me. You know, I eat alone, and it's not just about the eating. It's about the ritual. It's about continuity. It's about all those things that when you can get that into the lives of kids, it really can change their life.
Absolutely. I think it comes down to the idea of making regular space with each other. You know, like doing something like sharing a meal or showing up to a soccer game or being there every day after school to hang out with these kids and get to know them on a one-to-one level. It's about, I don't want to say being bored together, but it kind of is sometimes. You know,
that's a great imagery.
Yeah, like when you spend enough time with someone to be comfortable being bored with them, that's when the walls come down and you really get to know them as a person. And that's what we strive for. We want that level of connection with our youth.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think you mentioned it earlier. There's a ton of great mentorship programs out here, and that's awesome. We have our processes as well. We have a 4-phase mentorship program that we go through. But the biggest piece of it, kind of what Curtis built on, is just being with them. Half the time, kids, anybody, all of us, we just want somebody to be there. So that's been such a huge part of what we do and why we do what we do, to show that they have somebody there.
Absolutely. I mean, loneliness is probably one of the great contributors to people getting off track.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
And you're in their lives. And, so let's talk Give for Good. Because that's why we're here today.
Yes,
what does it mean to you? How are you using it? Yeah.
To us, I think it's an amazing opportunity to inform and be informed, right? For us to inform, it's a great way. Like, we're a relatively young organization. I've been here since the beginning, about 2 years ago, and you know, we're really still finding our feet. Like I said, volunteer run, so we're not moving as quickly as we've always wanted to. But this is a great way for us to it's a trampoline for us to jump off of and boost up to the next level. it's also a great way for us to be informed about what's going on in our community. You know, nonprofits, we all ultimately have the same goal of bettering Louisville, of bettering the Kentuckiana area. And so getting to see other organizations and how they're doing that. Like Trey and I were just listening to Jedi, there's just some before us, and my word, it's incredible to see the work that's being done. And the way that the community, I'm looking at the leaderboard right now, almost $2.5 million donated, over 15,000 gifts. It's incredible. It's incredible to be a small part of it and to see the impact that's happening here.
Yeah, I love the way when it moves. It's
Absolutely.
like you can feel that words are coming out of your mouth and people are writing checks or pushing buttons.
Absolutely. We're really thankful to be here and be a part of this platform.
Well, thank you for spending the time. You really are doing important work. I'm wrapping up my hour, and your imagery about all the things that are going on in this hour. We've talked about gardening. We've talked about mentorship. We've talked about racial injustice, moving capital to entrepreneurs. That's our nonprofit community.
Yes, it is.
And that's why we're here with such enthusiasm today, to get people to turn their hearts into action today. And thanks for being a part of it.
Thanks for having us.
Down here. I know how busy you are. So.
Thank you guys so much for being here. We do want to give a quick shout out to Asia. Are we friends with Asia there, Curtis?
Yeah. What's up, Asia?
Asia says, hi, Curtis. And we're actually going to say hi to Asia, too. This is Asia's boss. This is Nick Mattingly, the CEO of Switcher Studio.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Nick. I appreciate you. So,
Thank
hi,
you.
Asia. Wish you were here. But thank you guys for watching. Everybody who's watching at home, thanks for doing that, Nick. We're going to get going here. Thank you guys for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Have a good rest of the day. Good luck.
Thank you all.
Someone says, look at that, the beaubeauul locks on that man, too. I don't know who BB is. But thank you guys so much for being here.
It's got to be me.
That's right.
Ron, this has been a delight. Thank you again so much for giving me a chance to come on back this year, chat with you, for hosting this hour. I know you're a very, very busy guy today and every day.
Well, a little bit later, I'll be hopping over to a radio station and to a TV station and doing some more. And
we're doing all that we can today.
That's exactly it.
To spread the message.
All the stops, and it's a pleasure working with you, Chris.
It's a pleasure.
It wouldn't be the same. Got to come back every year.
Same thing to you, Ron. I really appreciate it. And I want to give a quick shout out, just real quick while I can, to your entire marketing team this year as well. You want to just speak to the work that they're doing?
They are the best. I've been in this field for a long time. I've worked with lots of people in that field, and our team is really the finest bunch of human beings, much less talented folks as well. And this wouldn't happen. One of the nice things about being, my job is I come and do this kind of thing, but I'm riding on their efforts. Yeah.
Me too. So everybody write on down. Valerie, Christina, Jessica's doing a wonderful job today.
Absolutely.
Eve and Lexi and Nini, it's just been wonderful getting a chance to work with your team again. So thank you again. We'll have many more thank yous to give tonight too as well. So stay tuned. Lots more to come. Trivia hour. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to all the nonprofits that are making time today. Thank you again to Ron Gallo. And thank you, most importantly, watching at home, donating, helping that ticker go by, and helping folks like Growing Bridges continue to grow their bottom line here today on Give for Good Louisville Day. We will be back at 3 p.m. Yes, I'm going to escape here and eat some lunch or something and drink some water. So I would say don't go anywhere, but go take a little break. Make sure you come back 3 p.m. Ron, you're good to go. We appreciate you, buddy. 3:30 with Ramona Dallum, 4:30, 5 p.m. with Christina Miller. Then come back with me at 8:30 p.m. for Kentuckiana Trivia with the Giving Day guy live. Yeah, Nick, Asia says, ha, 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 hi, friends. We adore Asia. Isn't she great?
She's the best.
She's the best. She's the best. That's the magic of Switcher Studio. We're bringing people together, and I'm a big Asia fan as well. So with that, we will see you back here at 3 p.m. And there you go. Growing Bridges. Go make your donation right now. GiveForGoodLouisville.org. Have a good afternoon. I'll see you at 3 o'clock.